Here it is, another prison break, this time in the Eastern Cape. Now, officials have launched a manhunt for two inmates who escaped from the Xeleni Correctional Center.
The two are both convicted rapists who fled on Freedom Day. Now, for more on this, let's bring in Correctional Services spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo. A very good morning to you, Singabakho. Thank you so much for your time. What is happening with Correctional Services officials? I mean, do you have criminals who are supposed to be looking after the criminals? I don't know if my question makes sense.
A very good morning, and thank you for having us. No, I hear your question very well, and I think most people will tend to look at things that way to say it does seem like from time to time we're now talking about escapes. It's something that does concern us as correctional services, although figures have been going down, but it doesn't assist when it's happening, consistently. What we have here is a question of two inmates who escaped from a sport field, something that ought not to have happened, because when you take inmates out to any form of activity, you ought to have a security plan, and you have to follow it all the way to the end. It cannot be that you only realize when you are counting inmates as you take them back, you then see that no two inmates you cannot account for. There's something that as a department has stepped us, we're looking into that, but for now, the focus is on getting these two inmates back into custody.
What do we know about them, Singabakho?
The two, Siyabulela Kholiso is serving a 10-year sentence for rape, and Atini Notimzangelwa is also serving a sentence for rape, but only 8 years. And Xeleni Correctional Facility is a very small center with a bed space of just 71. And although it has an extreme level of overcrowding, but it's something that is manageable. And the number of inmates who were taken out to a sport field was not the entire facility. I think there were about 71, and they had more than enough officials to look after those inmates. Hence, the investigation will need to assist that to say where did things really go wrong, and who was supposed to do what, and because the security plan will give you all those details. Hence, as a department, we said we'll not leave this matter lying down. It cannot be, that from time to time we have to come and account for things that ought to not have happened even in the first place. So we are following some leads. We need to get these two back behind us. It makes us very uncomfortable that you have two people who are in for rape and we are unable to account for. Hence, we needed to issue that alert so that should people spot them anywhere, they assist us by reporting to the nearest police station.
But I've got a follow-up question to that. Have the victims of these rapists been informed? Because you are saying it makes us feel uncomfortable. I can only imagine when a victim has to watch this on television, what they must feel. I think uncomfortable is a very euphemized version for those that have been victims of their rapes. Have those people been informed?
It's one of the things that we prioritize. We look at the victims, we trace them and find them so that we can inform them that these people have escaped. We're looking for them, and there are reasons why we'll make it a point that we do approach the victims. In most cases, you'll find that crime happens between people who know each other, even if they don't, but they'll find things to identify, those people. So it's important that you alert the victims of crime and then continue with the manhunt. We are also working with other law enforcement agencies to that effect, but there are also other organized structures who from time to time really assist us a lot when we have escapes in correctional services. So the manhunt is on, and we have activated quite a number of structures so that we make it possible that the two are taken back behind bars.
Let's fast forward to a successful manhunt. You find them, you bring them back into the correctional facility in Xeleni. What then happens afterwards? They are people that are serving a particular time. They've now, escaped. Do they continue to serve the time that they already were serving, or now is there added punishment? Talk us through the process for those that may not know how this works.
Okay. For any person to escape from lawful custody, that is a criminal offense. you have a new case registered, you get to be prosecuted, which will lead into a conviction. Automatically, you will get a sentence for that. And the classification also changes. Chances are that you will be moved to another center. I know for a fact that when you get these two, will not be taking them back to England because that's a very small facility, and the classification would have changed. So it is something that we always make it a point that we pay attention to, because for any person to escape from lawful custody, it then clearly states that this person has no regard for the law, no respect for justice. So it's someone that must be treated with that type of an outlook, to say clearly you think that you are in law to yourself, therefore we need to treat you differently, and we have facilities designed for such people.
Yeah. Very quickly, Singabako, then in this instance, it's not just, and for a person to escape from correctional services, actually, in facilities, they need help. Right? We've seen this time and time again. There's either the warder that is doing it, or the security company that is involved. Somebody is involved in looking the other way while these people manage to escape, including maybe even facilitating the escape plan. And in that case, where are we with being able to track down who is responsible for helping these inmates, these rapists, actually get out of correctional services? Who did it, and how far are we with doing it? Because I tell you one thing, if they can get away with it once, they will do it over and over and over again.
Okay. I may not say everything live on air because it may give out more details, but there are lists that we're following. But how we normally process such matters, it is important that you look at the history of an inmate, even the people who are visiting this person, where does it come from? And also, even if you have other inmates who are coming from more or less the same area, or if an inmate was receiving visits from the same person who was also visiting other inmates. Those are some of the things or patterns that we usually pick up, that we'll find, let's say, two inmates receiving the same visit from the same person, yet they are not related. That will then give you something, but I wouldn't want to go into details, but it's part of intelligence that we utilize to say, okay, when was this person admitted, what was his life, where does it come from, and also even who are the parolees in that particular area, or ex-offenders, or even people who from time to time would be in conflict with the law, because some of those people will know about things happening there. Some of them may got winds of a plan being hatched, and also even the center where the inmate was staying. So there's quite a lot of things that you work on. By the time you then extend to other structures, at least you've covered that, and it has worked for us very well. We have succeeded in arresting quite a number of people who had escaped, but there's more that we look at. Unfortunately, I cannot divulge everything, but there's quite a bit of that we connect.